students. So we have this subject in second year BA, which is financial systems. This subject is it basically deals with the entire financial system of India. The topics that you will be covering in this subject would be Indian financial system, banking in India, financial markets in India, and important financial institutions. So these are certain major topics that you will be covering. In this, you will be studying about the characteristics, about the roles, and why there is a requirement for us to study such a subject in our second year BA. So when we study this subject, we have the first unit, which is Indian financial system. Indian financial system. In this unit, we will be talking about the introduction. In introduction, we'll be talking about what is Indian financial system, the nature of it, the role that Indian financial system plays, the importance of Indian financial system. So these are majorly the topics that you will be looking at in this unit. You will be also seeing the structure of Indian financial system as to how the operation of Indian financial system is actually, and the characteristics and functions of the components of Indian financial system. So these are the major topics that you will be covering in this unit. When we see this um, terminology, which is Indian financial system, what basically comes to our mind? We could probably think of some financial markets. We could probably think of some banking system. Something of that sort is what our mind starts thinking for the ones who are planning to study this subject for the first time. You know the meaning of finance. The meaning of finance is nothing but to manage money. Whereas if someone asks you what is the meaning of system, system is nothing but when processes are put together, you develop a system. So Indian financial system of a country comprises of financial institutions, financial organizations, your financial markets, financial instruments which are traded, and financial services. All of these, when they are clubbed together, we call it as Indian financial system. These constituents part of the financial system and work complementary to each other. All of these terminologies that I just mentioned, financial institutions, financial markets, financial instruments, financial services, all of these, they make the financial system and they are complementary to each other. So this is what is Indian financial system. It contributes to the growth and development of the country by mobilizing savings. Basically, whatever income we get, whether we get it every month, every year, whatever income we get, after doing our expenses, whatever we are left with is called as savings. We do not spend the entire income that we get. We spend a part of it, and whatever is left with us is our savings. According to traditional method that we follow is we put this money in the bank, We either open a saving account, we open a fixed deposit account, whatever we open an account, we put this money in the bank, and we get X amount of interest on this money. So this is what usually all of us do. Have you ever thought what happens to this money which you are keeping in the bank? Is the bank interested to keep the money with itself just like that? Or does the bank do anything out of this money? Have you ever thought of it? So when you put the money in the bank gives you an X amount of interest. So bank is not paying from its pocket to you. What does bank do then? There are some people, there are some entrepreneurs, there are some businessmen who want to start a business. They would probably come to the bank and they would say that we are in need of money. So this person X, when he comes to the bank and he requests for money, bank gives him money, and in return banks will charge him an X amount of interest for lending him the money. You as a saver, you are saving the money in the bank. This money is picked by the bank and given to the person who is interested in borrowing from the bank. He borrows this money, and in return he pays extra amount to the bank. Out of this extra amount that bank receives, bank will keep a part of it and pay you as an interest as a saver that you had kept money with the bank. So this is a win-win situation for all three parties: the bank, the person who borrowed the money, and the person who saved the money. So you will get 8% interest on the savings that you have done. Bank will charge 10% to the person whom bank is lending the money. 2% will be earned by the bank. This is actually what happens with the savings that we do in the banks. So why did I spoke about this? I spoke about this because this is one of the integral parts of Indian financial systems. Because of Indian financial system, these savings that we do are mobilized. These savings that we do are mobilized. This money that we keep in the bank or we keep in any financial institution does not lie idle. Rather, it is put to a productive usage. An entrepreneur would take this money. He would buy the factors of production with this money, land, labor, capital, and he would buy a company with it, a factory. He would start a factory with it. And then he would generate employment. He would keep people for doing the job. And then he would start his production. Then he would start selling whatever he produced in his company. So this money that you kept has been mobilized, has been put to some productive usage. The financial reform had started in the early 1990s, which was essentially to bring about transformation in the structure, effectiveness, and stability in the financial system. Our financial system wasn't that strong before 90s. When this financial reform started, that's how we brought in more structuring of the financial system. That's how we brought in more effectiveness, more stability in the financial system. In this chapter, we will look at the structure and working of the Indian financial system and its evolution post-independence. So after independence, how it got acceleration, that we are going to study. Now, the economic development of a nation is reflected by the progress of three entities, three major, you can say, sectors: the corporate sector, the government sector, and the household sector. These are the three major sectors who play a very important role in the economic development of a nation. Corporate sector, you can replace this term with the firms, with the companies, so producers. Government is there to monitor, and households is us. All these three sectors, if they are functioning smoothly, if they are functioning properly, that's how economic development of a nation can happen. So what is the role of financial system? Financial system works as an intermediary. It works as a middleman between the investor and the saver. So a saver will come and save money. The financial institutions will try to use this money and give it to the needy investor who will invest it in productive purposes. So it facilitates flow of funds from surplus areas to deficit areas. Not all the markets in an economy, not all the areas in an economy are functioning to their fullest capacity. All the areas are not in surplus. Many of the areas are in deficit. So what happens if there is a deficit? So financial systems will take care of these deficits. They will try to flow these funds from the surplus areas to the deficit areas. Since we've highlighted so much on the introduction part of financial system, let us now see the meaning. Like I just give you a brief that it is an intermediary between the savers and the investors. It is a middleman between the saver and the investor. It connects both of them. So it is a set of complex and closely interlinked financial institutions, financial markets, financial instruments and services which facilitate the transfer of funds. Whenever you talk about the financial system, in the financial system, all of these terminologies will be there. All of it are its babies. Financial institutions, financial markets, financial instruments and financial services. Now you will ponder that why the system word is there. Okay, finance means money. Why this word system is there? System is nothing but it implies to set of complex and closely interlinked institutions, agents, practices, markets, transactions, claims and liabilities in an economy. This is the major meaning of system in the word financial system. There's a definition given by Van Horn which you can learn. Financial systems closely allocate saving efficiently in an economy to ultimate users, either for investment in real assets or for consumption. So what are financial systems doing? Financial systems are allocating the savings. How allocating the savings? I, as a saver, I went and saved my money in one of the financial institutions, say for example in one of the banks. So now these funds of mine which I have saved will be allotted to such a user who is in need of this money. He could be in need of this money for X purpose. Either to do an investment in real assets, he wants to buy plant and machinery and raw material with this money, or he wants to use it for consumption purpose. That means he has his requirement of money for his personal reason. So this would be the definition of financial institutions, which is given by Van Horn, which you can learn. Let us look at the nature of financial systems. When you look at the nature of financial system, the very first nature that you learn is about transfer of funds. This is what we have been talking about for a while. So the first nature of financial system is transfer of funds. What financial systems do? They transfer the funds from the saver to the investor, from the surplus to the deficit. So this is for the first nature. The second is about mobilizing savings. So financial institutions put this ideal money which is lying in the banks for productive usage. It will give this money to the investors who are probably planning to invest in real assets or maybe for their consumption purpose. So it is mobilizing the savings. Let me tell you, the financial system of the entire nation is integrated, which means these funds are easily mobilizing from places to places. You know that because of technology, because of such strong integration, even if I save in a bank which is located in Pune, I can withdraw my money from Jammu Kashmir's bank. So these banking systems are so integrated, they are so connected. Because of this, the mobilizing of savings happen very smoothly. The next is about risk allocation. Diversification of risk is an important feature of financial system. What is the meaning of diversification? Diversification means you are splitting the risk. You are trying to minimize the risk. You make such a portfolio that will minimize your risks. So risk allocation is one of the important nature of financial system. Whatever funds you keep, these funds are allotted in such a way that you will not lose your entire money. The risk will be diversified. You might get low returns, but there'll be low risk. You will get high returns, but there'll be high risk. So such a portfolio will be made that your risk will be minimized. Risk will be diversified. Next is it facilitates investment. The people who require money can borrow money from the financial institutions. So the investor can take the money and make necessary investments. With these necessary investments, he can generate employment, he can generate output, he can add on to the betterment of the standard of living of the country. So the another nature that we studied was it facilitates investment. The next one is it enhances liquidity. Liquidity is cash. So the movement of cash becomes smooth because of financial systems. Like I told you, it is somewhat related to the point mobilizing savings. Because of the free flow of savings, the liquidity of the country is enhanced. So these are the nature of financial system. Let us look at the role of financial system now. The first role of financial system is collection of savings. Financial system puts the savings to productive usage by channelizing them. It would be very difficult for a saver to get connected to the investor. Okay, I have excess money. How do I know who is in need of money? So who will do that task of finding a appropriate investor for me, financial systems will do it. So it does the collection of savings. Next, it provides financial assistance. Whatever scattered savings are there are brought together through deposits by raising capital by these financial intermediaries. So it will give you financial assistance. I, as a saver, I will look for high returns. So if I'm looking for high returns, financial systems will help me in telling me that okay, these are the ways, these are the financial instruments where you can put your money and you can try to get higher returns. And also at the same time, you can diversify your risk. So this financial assistance is given to the saver and to the investor by the financial systems. The next one is productivity of investment. It is very important that whatever investment I do is productive enough. When will I call it productive? When the returns on that investments are high. So financial institutions will help in improvising the allocations of these investments. Okay, so these are the three portfolios that you need to invest your money so that you get higher returns. This task will be done by the financial systems. Also, if I want to invest in a project, whether it is worth in investing in that project, what is the returns of that project, what is going to be the cash flow of that project. After analyzing this, then an investor will put money in the project. This help, this assistance is given by the financial systems. Encouragement. There is an encouragement done to both the parties, to the investor as well as to the saver. A person who is saving will get encouragement if he'll get higher interests. A person who is an investor will get encouragement to invest if he'll get money at a lower rate. This balance situation is created by the financial systems. The next one is about enlargement of markets. So financial system creates enlargement of the markets. How do they enlarge? They enlarge the markets with space and time. Large volume of transactions are happening in today's date because of these financial systems. Everything is digital, everything is quick, everything is immediate. All of this is possible because of the financial systems. It also facilitates payment mechanism, smooth flow of funds. Today, by just using a click, I can invest my money in different markets. How do I do that? It is because of the smooth functioning of the financial system of India. Buyers and sellers are able to perform the transactions without any hurdles because of the smooth functioning of the payment mechanism. You go to any shop today, you do not have any cash in your pocket, that's fine. You just need a smartphone, you need to scan a QR code and you are immediately making the payments. So it has become so quick. Why? Because of the digital process which has been imbibed in the financial systems. Next is it reduces risk. Because of the diversification of risk, which I already mentioned, the risk is reduced and the savers are motivated to save more money. It brings savers and investors together. It bridges the gap. Financial systems, they bridge the gap between the saver and the investor. They become the intermediary and they connect the saver and investor. Whatever ideal money that I have in the banks is put to a productive use by these financial institutions. They also assist in the capital formation of the country. Any country is said to be growing if there is growth in the capital formation of that country. So, financial institutions will help investors to get their appropriate funds, and these funds can be put into investments into different producers goods. They can purchase different producer goods, and because of which we can add on to the capital formation of the country. If there is capital formation of in a country, if there is good amount of capital formation in a country, people will have the desired goods with them. If people will have good quality goods, they are going to have a good quality of life. So it improves the standard of living, not only in the rural areas but also in the urban areas. Development of the weaker section is taken care by these institutions by lending the money at a lower rate of interest. It also facilitates economic development. All of these are happenings in positives. This will in turn lead to economic development of the country. Economic development of the country is nothing but proper utilization of the available resources. So whatever resources that we have are put to proper use, this will lead to the growth and economic development of a country. And all three sectors will be taken care of: the government sector, the corporate sector, and the household sector. So these are the roles of financial system. So in today's class, we spoke about what is the meaning of Indian financial system. We spoke about the detailed meaning of Indian financial system. We spoke about a definition given by Van Horn, a very good definition. We spoke about the nature of financial system, which is transfer of funds, mobilize savings, risk allocation, facilitates investments, and enhances liquidity. And we spoke about an important topic, which is the role of financial systems. So the role is collection of savings, financial assistance, productivity of investment, encouragement, enlargement of markets, facilitates payment mechanism, reduces risk, brings the saver and investor together, assists in capital formations, improves the standard of living of the people, and facilitates economic development. These are the major roles of financial systems. When we meet in the next class, we will proceed with the role of we will proceed with the next topic of financial, that is in importance of Indian financial system. Thank you.